Hello there, everyone. I've entitled this podcast, DBRP End of 2017 News. So thanks for listening. A lot of this podcast is just housekeeping, but I hope that I include some useful information for you. For any listeners out there who are using the native Apple podcast app, the one with the purple icon, sorry. We implemented a naming change that was recommended by Apple for all podcasts, but on devices using OS 11, the name change makes it hard to distinguish the different podcast series. It will take me some time to fix this. In the meantime, I suggest installing the free DBRP listening app from the App Store. It still uses the old naming conventions and separates the podcasts by category. I'm thrilled that my update to the Digging Deeper Daily Reading Plan now shows up in my YouVersion Bible-reading app. You can tell if you're looking at the updated plan if you have a Podcast Choices link up at the top line of the Devotional Content page. This replaces two links that were previously on the top line. If you still see separate links for GNT and NLT in the top line, you might try logging off the app and logging right back in. The place to do that is at the top of the Settings page in the YouVersion app. If you're using an Android device, using the new Podcast Choices link on the Devotional Content page, you can more conveniently read the Bible texts in the YouVersion app and listen to the corresponding podcast at the same time. Now, for Android users at least, you don't have to fiddle with two separate apps to do both listening and reading. Here are the step-by-step instructions. Just go to Your Day in the YouVersion app, click on the Podcast Choices link in the Devotional Content page. The YouVersion app will then show you the DBRP website with all the episodes available that match your day number. You have to scroll down, and sometimes you have to wait a little bit to see all of them. This web page is still technically being viewed from within the YouVersion app. So you scroll down until you see the links to the GN or NL or perhaps NE podcast for your day number. Then, and this is the tricky part, you do a long press on the link to the episode you want. And then, in the pop-up box that appears, choose Open in a New Tab. So don't just click on the podcast, but do a 2-second long press on it. Next, hit the play button in that new tab. That new tab is now appearing in your internet browser. While you're listening to the opening words of the podcast, then you use normal multitasking commands to return to the YouVersion app. The app will still be showing the search results page. Hit the X to dismiss that page or use your device's back button, and you will be back at the Devotional Content page ready to continue reading. Whew. I'm sorry for how technical and dense that sounded. But basically, what I just said in that too technical paragraph is this. All within the YouVersion app, you can now click through to listen to any podcast that matches your day number, and go right back to reading along while listening. The devotional content pages in the YouVersion app are limited to 400 words. Anytime you want to view the complete translation notes, use that same Podcast Choices link and click on the Read More link for that day's podcast. The DailyBibleReading.info website always has the complete episode notes, including translation notes. If you are one who can never read along while listening because you're driving a car or doing something else, then you'll probably want to stick with the listening app you have been using. The new way of reading and simultaneously listening described above will be easier for new people, and especially Android users, subscribing to the DBRP. For you Apple device users, it appears right now that the best way for listening and reading along at the same time is to use two apps in tandem: a podcast player, perhaps the DBRP dedicated listening app, and the YouVersion reading app. There are two new things I want to highlight at the DailyBibleReading.info site. First is Vicky Poole's audio invitation to listen to the whole Bible in a year. Vicky is a member of our church and my volunteer secretary. She helped me a lot in behind-the-scenes managing of the podcast series. She also has shared the Daily Bible Reading podcasts with the blind or vision-impaired community. Secondly, there is now a Read Me First PDF file linked right at the top of every page of the DBRP site. The top of this PDF file tells the basics, like how to get started listening. Below that is a table of contents that links you to answers to every question I can think of that someone might ask about our reading plan, about Bible translations, about how to listen on various devices, and even information about me and Gail. Then, at the end of the document, the table of Bible readings for the whole 365-day plan is given. So I hope that this document will be useful to anyone who visits the site. I really do hope everybody will read it first, because it will be helpful for the person who just wants to read the Digging Deeper Daily reading plan in their Bible, or for anyone who is using some device to listen or read. If you don't happen to like the YouVersion app, or if you want an app that gives you many tools for looking at the biblical source language texts, consider following the Digging Deeper plan using My Bible, which is an app that is available for both Android or Apple devices. The My Bible app also has a wonderful selection of Bible translations, including some for download that you cannot download for offline reading in the YouVersion app. I enjoy being able to see 3 different translations on the screen at once on my tablet. But it is taking me a little time to learn how to make full use of this powerful app. Now is the time to encourage your friends to listen to or read the whole Bible in 2018. Please share the DailyBibleReading.info website. Please share Vicky's invitation, which is linked right at the top of the site. And please tell people about the Read Me First PDF file. You can easily share an episode using the social media buttons that are part of the podcast player on our website or in most of the listening apps. I hope that you who are finishing your 365-day plan in the next few days will write a social media post that says something like, "Hey, I enjoyed this Bible reading plan this year." If you're doing that in Facebook, please write out the whole address and a link will appear. So type in http://dailybiblereading.info. That way people can just click on that link and it will take them to the site. Or if you're just starting to listen to the plan now and want to help out, please make a post that says, "Hey, look what I'm going to do this year," and give the same complete link. Now, don't do this because I suggested it. Do this if you want to encourage others to read or listen to God's Word daily. My goal in all of this is to increase the understanding and enjoyment of God's Word. Gail and I send a warm Merry Christmas greeting to all of you. May the Lord bless you real good now and in 2018.